Alrighty. So of course, talent is found in Engage, but you actually have to set up the campaign first. So if you already have recruits in there, you'll have to add them to the campaign if you want to send it to them. So if you are going to like upload a roster via CSV, and I'll show you that in a minute, you'll want to do this step first so that when you do add them and they're marked as a recruit, they'll automatically be added to the campaign. And again, the campaign is that 12-part video series that the marketing group put together middle to last year. So the content is still very much up to date, and it's really good content. So the first step is to go into Engage. And of course, if you're a manager, which you guys are, you'll see your manager dashboard first. So you'll actually want to come over here and toggle to agent mode. And then from here, you want to go to campaigns. And then you want to click add from library. Now this is part of what I was noticing is running really slow. So we just had to have a little bit of patience. But there is a series for each different DBA. So you'll want to make sure that if you're in Sunstar, like Becky, you use Sunstars. Obviously, if you're in Michigan, there's the Michigan DBA. So you can see right here, Ohio, Sunstar, Paradise, Premier, St. Croix Haven. So you just pick the one that you are obviously the DBA that is correct, and then you just click add to campaigns. It says that it's already been added, but this window doesn't go away. So you can actually add more than one campaign without having to go back into that window if you choose. Since we're not, we're just going to go ahead and click close. And then you're going to see that's right here. It shows up awaiting setup. So there is further steps that you have to go through in order to set it up. But when we created these campaigns, we created it to be the trigger of adding a new recruit lead. So once you do this step one time, anytime you add a recruit to your Engage in the talent portion, and they're marked as a recruit, it's going to automatically sign them up for this campaign. So if we go ahead and click on edit, and then watch it spin. This kind of shows you what it is. So they automatically get one right away, which is the 0 days after start. And then you can see it's every 30 days. They'll get another video. You can add emails into this if you want. If you have a hot recruit and you want to contact them more than every 30 days, you can actually add any email that you want to from the library so that you can contact them more frequently. Or you can change these dates. So if you want today to send them one, and then in 2 weeks, you just put in 14 there, and then you can change these however you want once you've added the campaign. If there's one that you're really like, nah, I can't speak to that, it's not in my wheelhouse, I wouldn't be able to explain it if I tried, you can delete that email so that it's not going out. And you just do that by clicking the little can, of course, which is your trash can. From here, you can click next and preview. And this kind of shows you. So if you do make changes to this, you'll be able to review it here. And if you want to look at any of these emails from here, you can just click preview. Obviously, it's branded to me because I'm in my Engage, but that would be your information there. It has the little bit of the thumbnail for the video, and then a little bit of content, and then of course it's branded to you there at the end. And then it says right here, the trigger is the recruit contact. Contact is designated as recruit. So when you click save, when you try to click save, there it goes. You can add people right from here. So if you've already put in recruits and you want to go forward doing this, but you want to back up and add the ones that are already in there, you can go ahead and click add people. And from here, once you're done and it's set the way that you want it to, you can click run campaign. And then you sit and spin again. And then once it goes back to the other window, it's moved from awaiting setup to running. And this number of people here, as you add recruits, of course, that's going to tick up. So as you add people that are in the campaign, that obviously will keep track of it. It'll also let you know what your open rate is on those emails, and if any of the users have unsubscribed, it's going to show you that there as well. So now that you've set this up on the front end, anytime you add a recruit, they're automatically going to be added to that campaign. There's no other secondary step that you have to go to. And again, you only have to do this step one time. And for those on the call that are selling managers, it works exactly the same way. If you want to add the new lead contact, any new lead that comes in would get the campaign, and that's the new lead campaign. So it works the exact same way there. And then if you want to add a CSV, so say you have your recruit list and you've been working off the same list for a while and you want to upload that into the system, you simply want to come back over here to the left to your toggle, click talent mode. And obviously this is what's tracking your to-dos, your goal, whatever it might be. And then if you come over to the upper right and click the cog, and I'm sorry, I missed a step. So you want to go to talent and then you want to go to people, my people. And then once that loads, you obviously can add an individual by clicking add people. Say you were at the grocery store and you ran into an agent. You're like, man, they'd be really good member of our office. I want to add them in here. You obviously fill out all the information. And at the very end here, you want to assign them as a recruit. Once you've done that and click save, or I'm sorry, done, they're added in as a recruit. And since they're tagged that, they're automatically going to be sent that campaign. And then if you haven't changed the date parameters, they'll get it every 30 days. So you just want to make sure that you're tagging them as a recruit. If you do have that list and you want to upload them all at one time, once it goes back to the screen, this is where you would click the cog. So the first time I did it by accident, I wasn't on the people tab. So you want to make sure you're on the people tab. And then if you click the cog there, you can import talent CSV. Any one that you import using this feature is going to automatically be tagged as a recruit. And then of course, if you set the campaign up first, which we just did, they're all going to be added to that campaign. Yeah, sure thing. It's going to change it for everyone. You could pull in the campaign a second time and update it differently if you have it for a particular person. So you can actually, you can customize the campaigns if you wanted to that way, and then just add that person to that campaign if you had somebody like that. So you could have like a hot prospect campaign and then just your normal drip campaign. Yeah, that was a great question. Any other questions on that? I mean, it's pretty simple, other than waiting and sitting and spinning. It's pretty simple to set up the campaign on the front end and then let the system work for you in the back end as you're adding your recruits into here. I did want to point out again the support page. I can't stress enough how good of a support page Moxi actually has. They have very small tips and tricks, so that really breaks it down for the agent. Their find answer screen right here is super helpful. And then they have these, they either have a video or they also have everything printable. So if you have an agent that likes the hands-on, they have a lot of PDFs that the agent can print out and then work through it if they want. Or as you can see here, which is the import your contacts into Moxi Talent, which I just showed you, but if you want to go back to it later, it's right here under the Moxi Talent tab. And then it really just walks you right through it. You can see it's easy to follow and it's short and sweet. And then you can get the CSV file here so that you can make sure it's formatted the correct way. And then this is where that PDF download would be. So again, this is just for the talent upload, but this works for everything that they have in the Moxi support page. So I really highly recommend to you and your agents to utilize the support page. And again, it's just support.moxiworks.com, but it's also linked through schmidtresources.com as well. If you guys haven't visited this hot tips section yet, these can be really good little snippets to use at your sales meetings. Again, real quick, and I'm talking like 10, 15 seconds. Some of them are just real short, and it's one thing, it's one tip that your agent can pick up, super simple to use, and will help them get more and more engaged into the Moxi systems. And again, if you are right here on this is what it looks like when you first go to support.moxiworks, and it's right here. I know last time we talked about the Getting Started tab. and how that can be super useful for new agents. But this hot tips one is really great to just increase engagement for the agents that maybe have had the product since we launched but haven't really dug in and engaged. It's really good tips for them to just get comfortable with the system. The last thing I want to show you, unless there's, while I pull this up because I forgot to download it first, so I'm going to do that real quick. Does anybody have any questions on that? It's just that easy that you don't have questions. I love that. Actually, this is not going to let me load it, is it? Yeah, thank you, Elizabeth. Go ahead, Tom. Great. So this is just what I want. It's not cheating. It's using the support that is provided to you. That's absolutely amazing. And Elizabeth, exactly. Elizabeth, if you want to send that to me too, we can go ahead and get it up in Schmidt Resources in the Moxi Square. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. So I just kind of wanted to show you a sneak peek. This is some of the new reporting that Moxi actually is able to provide to us. It's a lot more detailed than the reporting that we used to get. I still haven't been able to dig into it exactly the way I wanted to, but this is just kind of an example of the data that we're now getting. And it's across all product lines. It talks about engagement with Present, Engage, and with websites. And it gets really granular, so you guys will actually be able to know which of the agents in your offices are actually engaging in the tools. So this will be really helpful for the managers so that they can go to those agents that aren't engaged and find out what those roadblocks might be. This in particular report actually is out of Elizabeth's region here. This is her Schmidt family of companies, DBA offices. So it just kind of goes through this one's on transactions, volume, and average sales price, so that's interesting. Active contacts, so you can see we've really gained momentum. We've had a lot more contacts since launch. This is about the subscriptions, whether it is faves and saves or if it's neighborhood news. And then the campaigns, the listing announcements, and the neighborhood news here. So there's a lot of data here, and I really want to dial into it so that I can explain it better before I show all the managers. But I just wanted to give you guys a sneak peek so that you'll know that it's coming down for you guys locally, where before it was always just on the company level and we didn't really get granular in which of our regions is actually more engaged. So we think this is going to be very helpful with continuing to engage the agents, because we'll know exactly which ones are engaged and which ones aren't. So that is what I had for you guys today. Any other questions or comments? Not yet. They are currently PDFs on my system, but I'm going to make sure that I get them parceled out as soon as I can. Traveling last week really put me behind, but I'm getting caught up. Great. Well, I appreciate your guys' time today. I highly recommend getting in there and setting up those video campaigns. Again, they're valid all the way through about July. That's when they're going to be about a year old, so they'll be valid. And then obviously at that point, the marketing group will be able to refresh them. And obviously we'll communicate that when that happens. But if you get them set up now, you can start dripping on those recruits.